And like, that's what was really cool to me, is like, I don't have to take that path that I thought was the only way to doing ultimately what I wanted to do. Really, like, all I did this entire time at Pro Club, at Funk Fit, at the military base, now at PFS, was like, I just want to do what I enjoy doing and see where it takes me. And just like continuously having an open mind, continuously giving my best efforts and everything that I do is like, I really think ultimately what brought me to where I'm at today. And yeah, so it's...
Damn, awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's powerful.
So you're still at PFS and you're working with baseball players. You also train some golfers as well?
Yeah, mostly golfers. I'd say 80% of my clientele either golf competitively or golf recreationally 3+ times a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, with your time at PFS now, you've applied some of the things that you started learning at Pro Club, right? And you were just talking about the Postural Restoration Institute and some of the studying you've done through there and how that's helped you be able to take care of these athletes in a more mindful way. How does your time at the military, like you were saying, having people that they weren't paying to be there, they were kind of forced to be there, right? So now you as a coach, you can't, in that situation, you can't just like show up and just expect them to do what you want them to do. You have to coach.
You're talking about here?
No, I'm saying in the military.
Oh, yes.
So there's these two parts to coaching. It's what do you know? How much do you know? Yeah. And then how do you relay that information or motivate someone to actually do it? Right? So, how does that, your time at the military, of you having to show up and coach and be really mindful of how you're showing up, how you're talking to them, and the demeanor that you're using to say like, oh, hey guys, I think we're gonna do some deadlifts today, so we'll do like 5 sets of that over here, and then then I want you to do like 10 push-ups or something like that. You show up and you talk like that, and they're like they're not buying it.
Yeah,
so
like,
you have to show up prepared. You have to be present. You have to say, this is what we're doing. Here's how I want you to do it.
Exactly.
So how does that experience, like learning that, how does that apply to you now working with athletes who are professional athletes who, again, they're paying to show up, but they're like, I could pay any trainer to coach me.
Exactly.
Right? So I want to know what you can help me with, but also you have to show up and coach. You can't just say like, do this. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, what a great question. How did working at the military affect how I do my job now?
Yeah.
I mean,
what did that teach you about coaching? Because it's not just about what you know, right? Like
exactly.
you were saying, it's how
I think it's the delivery of information too. Like the delivery of how you're saying it, and exactly like you gave the example of, like, we should do some of these today. I want to get this at some point today. It's like, no, this is what we're gonna do. If you need me to do it with you, I'll do it with you, because I know I can, and I know that I can. But sometimes they just want to test me. They're like, can you really do it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so kind of learning to not be as challenged as I initially was to getting into this field. Like, oh, you don't think I'm strong enough to be on the baseball team? I'm going to show you how strong I am. It's like, no, like I can do this. Like it'll get done. And so, I mean, with the military, what was interesting is that it's a very contractual place. It's like, if you do this, then we'll do that. If this is the case, then this needs to happen. This is what we want to get done. And so I learned to understand that I'm going to set a foundation first, regardless of what they want to get done. Because if I don't set that foundation first, I'm just going to start setting up walls without a baseline, and then all the walls are going to collapse as soon as I try to put the roof on top of the house, right? To kind of give that example of, it's like, you're going to learn to squat correctly. We're going to use kettlebells for a month before you guys start squatting with a barbell. Because then once you've earned it, you're going to feel like I'm actually rewarding you when you do get to squat with a barbell. And so to kind of put that in perspective of what I do now is like, I still lay that same foundation with a professional athlete or with my 78-year-old client I just got 2 weeks ago that has scoliosis and has been exercising her entire life. So it's like, I know that you've exercised a lot in your past, but let's make sure we're on the same page with what a foundation of strength training looks like. Let's make sure you know what the 6 main movements are: push, pull, squat, hinge, lunge, carry, core, whatever. Because this is how I centrate my programming and training for you. And if you're trusting me to do this, expect this, and then we're going to have progressions. We're going to add complexity as the weeks go on. And that's exactly what I did at the military base. And it wasn't really until I got to the military base that I was like, wow, this has a lot of value long term. Of like with my professional athletes, we're going to do 4 to 6 week cycles, right? So like with my baseball guys right now, they just finished, their season ended in like October, and they usually take 3 to 4 weeks off, and then they'll start training. So we'll do some kind of GPP, which is general physical preparedness. So generally higher volume, shorter rest periods, just trying to condition the body to tolerate volume again. And then once we do that for 1 to 2 weeks, then I'll be like, okay, we're going to go into a hypertrophy block. This is what we're going to focus on. You want to see me 3 days a week. We're going to do full body, some kind of dynamic plyo, frontal plane, transverse plane stuff. And so a lot of training that they do in season is generally just sagittal plane or like arm work, arm rehab, and just very basic and simplistic moves. And a lot of the times what they've told me is that with their strength coaches for the professional teams, like one of my pitchers for the Cardinals, was like, they don't want me to like clean, like they don't want me to do or go heavy, because if they get hurt while the strength coach is watching them, the strength coach gets fired, the player's fine. And so the strength coaches are like walking on eggshells all the time, and they're like, no, don't do that, please don't do that, like I need to keep my job. And so now when they're in a private sector and they're seeking out specific training, they can communicate that to me, like, okay, well, we're not going to do barbell cleans, but we'll do like a landmine clean instead. We'll do different variations that can still help you get to the same goal that you want, and still feeling like you're getting what you want. And I'm going to show you also what things that I believe you need and can also help you get stronger, stay stronger.
Like they see more value out of then coming to you than the eggshells that they have to walk on with their training.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can do the things. You mentioned it before. It's like, it's this balance of giving the client what they want, but also like helping them along with what you know. But that's like a perfect example of, this is something they want to do, and you can facilitate it in a way that is still safe. And yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man. It's fun because now that I'm at this point where I've done a lot of education, continued ed stuff, listened to podcasts, had so many conversations with you, had so many conversations with people on my own podcast, and just getting to actually be able to effectively use the stuff that excites me and implement it into my programming, and explain it to my clients and convey to them the dynamics of the rib cage, why internal external rotation of your hips and shoulders plays such a prominent role in how the rest of your body is going to move, and how it's going to affect your gait pattern. Because a lot of these people, like, even if they just like to golf or just be recreationally active, you need to understand how the body moves, because otherwise you're just going to keep playing a very technical sport like golf. Regardless of what level you're playing it at, it's like you're going to really mess your body up if you're not aware of your surroundings, if you're not aware of feedback of your feet connecting to the ground, what part of your foot is connecting to the ground, what signal is that sending to the rest of your body, to your hips, what the hips do in response to that. Like, there's so many complexities and levels to that I have clients that actually give a shit about it and that are actually like, oh yeah, tell me, oh, that's why my big toe should stay down. Then stabilizes my knee. Then my hips can shift into that side of my leg. Oh, got it. Because then, especially like with pitchers, with like loading, like it's just a no brainer. You need to be able to have stability when you're delivering the ball and trying to throw as fast as you can. Because otherwise you're just kind of propelling this mass and all of these guts forward with no awareness of like what's actually doing this. And so that's what's fun, is like I can get them on the table and be like, okay, passive ranges of motion are here. This is where they should be if I pull you a little bit more, or if you try and work your way into it, that's active range of motion. So it's like, how can we like close the gap between passive and active ranges of motion? And then that way, now we can work on strengthening those ranges of motion. But
what do you find it related to like the excitement of your clients? Like, what do you find is the key to them finally kind of unlocking that interest and getting better? Is it the results that they experience? Like, let's say you have, a 55-year-old retired male, if you can retire at 55, amazing. But let's just say you get the retired guy who golfs 3 times a week. He's coming to see you. How do you get that guy excited about all of those intricate details?
About improving his hip internal rotation.
Yeah. Is it because he directly sees it translating into the thing that he enjoys, or is it purely just because he trusts you and believes in you. And
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not going to get like or like one of those like measurement tools out.
Goniometer.
Of course.
Goniometer. Thank you.
Gonio.
Yes, butchered that.
gynecologist.
I'm not going to check your prostate to see it. But like, so yeah.
I'm paying how much for this?
It's like,
Just
whoa,
kidding.
you want me to bend over and cough? But it was like, no, I'm
We
at,
got Jacob on that one.
it's not like, okay, you're currently at 10 degrees of internal
Of course.
rotation. Now you're at 30. Let me show you.
Yeah.
But it's more so of like, okay, does it, on your follow through, on your swing, does it feel more comfortable to stabilize yourself in your front leg? You're like, yeah, that makes, yeah, it actually does feel way more stable. You're like, that's internal rotation.
Yeah.